So good evening, everyone. So we have Abhishek Mishra, who is a senior IAM consultant at Simio. So he is with us. And first of all, congratulations, Abhishek, on your 1,000 subscribers. And
Okay.
you're doing a really good job with the YouTube tutorials on Pingfederate. It has definitely helped a lot of people. So with that, um, I'll just give a background about Abhishek. Abhishek has close to around 7, 8 years of experience into the identity and access space. He works as a senior IAM consultant, really hands-on with the entire Ping suite of products and other IAM tool. So Abhishek has already done a couple of sessions with us. This is the third sessions, and there are a few more coming up in the future. So with that, I'll let Abhishek take over and I'll initiate multiple screen sharing. So Abhishek, please go ahead. Thank you very much again.
Hey, thank you, Ravi. Yeah, let me share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Is it visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I just joined little late. Suddenly, like I see some error in the ping side. So I'm just trying to troubleshoot that. But yeah, maybe I can jump to there. But yeah, before that, let me show you something. Yeah, we can check this log. Like maybe there are some issue like which I'm facing in while trying to generate a token for maybe the dynamic client registration or like normal client credential flow. But yeah, we can just jump into this at the end. But before that, let me directly go to the 1 second. You can see my entire screen, right? Whatever I'm sharing right now.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Let me go back. Yeah, so like dynamic client registration, we'll discuss why we need to use, and then like in Pingfederate, basically I'm talking right now, and then we'll just try to understand like how we can enable that in Pingfederate and what are the prerequisites. Like, is Pingfederate need something before enabling dynamic client registration? And then how we can test that, yeah, we can talk. And right now I see some problem like in the logs, like while trying to generate a token, so we can just try to troubleshoot if we can able to fix. But yeah, that's the process we need to do to make this enable like dynamic client registration. So let's open the first one. Maybe let me little zoom. Yeah, so you can see it better. Is the font size good, like you can able to read this whatever I'm presenting?
We can increase it a little bit.
Okay, let me try to make it 1110. Is it fine now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so dynamic client registration is a feature of Pingfederate that allows developers to dynamically register OAuth clients with the authorization server instead of manually registering each client through the admin interface. Right? That we know that you can just go to Pingfederate admin console and you can just do the registration, right? OAuth setup, like whether it's auth, code flow, PKC, or whatever grants you are trying to do, right? You can go directly manually. The admin is doing basically, and they're registering that. So without registering, like without that process, there is a way you can just automate that, the client registration using DCR method. So in this case, like developer has to just send a I'll say HTTP post call with some. I'll just show you like how we can just do that. So basically, you just need to first authorize yourself to the Pingfederate using a kind of token, access token that Pingfederate issues to you. And using that token, you need to pass a body, like basically the basic details, right? What grant you are going to use, what should be the client name, what should be the scope, like that. You just need to pass few values, and then your connection will be ready in the Pingfederate by just passing that value to the dynamic client registration endpoint. So Pingfed is giving you basically that endpoint which you need to use from your code side, and then you can easily create your connection without the intervention or the help of the Pingfederate admin. Right? You're not supposed to ask Pingfed admin to do that. Right? You can simply just that's a benefit of DCR. Okay. So yeah, DCR Pingfed exposes a dynamic client registration endpoint, which is basically a RESTful API that allows developers to register OAuth clients programmatically, and the endpoint allows basically a client to request the creation of OAuth to client by sending an HTTP request, as I mentioned to you, right? Whether it's a web application, mobile, or any other service, also you can use that. Right? Then you have the registration request. So the client sends a registration request to the endpoint, providing various metadata. It's a metadata, basically what I just talked about, right? Like the client name, redirect URI, client type, grant type, scope. So these values you need to pass in the metadata along with the access token in the authorization header, so that you are just like authorizing yourself to the Pingfederate, right? But Pingfed is also giving you one option that without that authorization also you can just call, but in that case there is a risk, right? In that case, if you're not verifying that call, then anyone can just pass that value and create the connection. But you have a way, so maybe in the development environment you can do that, but for your like stage and production, you need to, yeah, use some access token as a, you need to pass that access token as authorization header. And also while enabling the DCR in the Pingfederate, you can choose that option, right? So that Pingfed will allow only the uh, request which is coming with an access token, a valid access token, right? That basically Pingfed issued. Okay, that is one thing. Then you have like validation and response. So when the server receives the registration request, Pingfed validates the provided metadata. If the request is failed, Pingfed registers the client. If the request is valid, Pingfed registers the client, and the response includes that. Basically, the yeah, if that request is fine, then you should get a client ID, client secret, and server may also return other metadata about the client that was registered, like allowed grant types or redirect URIs. Okay. In addition to registering new client, DCR also allows for updating and modifying the registration data of existing clients dynamically, which is helpful if a client's configuration changes over time. So you have again like a plus point here that you have, let's say you have multiple connections already built in the ping feeder, right? And maybe it's keep changing. Maybe you have some kind of flow where a developer or application needs to make some changes. So they are not supposed to ask you again and again, right? They're not supposed to ask and open a request to your team, hey, please make this change, please make this change. It's not like that. They can just do using this flow, using the DCR method. They can able to make some changes in their connections, right? So that's one advantage also. Why it is important, like for several reasons, right? One, we had talked about, like automation. DCR automates the client registration process, saving administration and developers time. Instead of manually registering each client through a graphical user interface, clients can automatically register themselves through an API, right? It reduces human error and allows for more rapid deployment, especially in large or distributed systems. Then you have flexibility and scalability, right? So it supports a scalable architecture where clients can dynamically register with the authorization server, making it easier to manage a large number of applications, ideal for environments with many apps or microservices, right? So you see that in the industry, like nowadays, yeah, like application have multiple microservices, right? So in that case, it's easy, right? If they can choose this DCR rather to request you to set up all their connections in the Pingfederate, right? And yeah, also like if they want to make some changes, they are free to use that DCR method to make the changes. Like let's say if they want to add a new callback address, right? So they can just do that. But again, you need to like look for some restriction. Like it's not like uh, they are just doing something and you're just allowing, right? You need to have a understanding. You just need to apply some restriction to see that how exactly they are creating, setting up the connection. Let's say that if they are creating like with the local host address as a callback in your production, so again it's a risk, right? Because you need to do the exact validation of the redirect URI in the authorization call or the token call. So in that case, yeah, like you need to have those restrictions from ping side so that you can restrict them to set up those vulnerability things, right? So that is one thing. Then you have security also, like since client metadata and registration entities can be validated and automatically enforced, DCR helps ensure that only valid and properly configured clients are registered, which reduces the risk of misconfigurations or unauthorized access. Right, the ability to automatically generate client secrets enhances the security of the OAuth process. That is also a good thing, right? Then you have the compliance with the OAuth standards, right? So these are the benefit of the DCR, and it's really good thing. I think we need to promote this like in our environment also to make things easy and better. Now, how there are few some prerequisites, right, for DCR in the PF in the Pingfederate side. So first thing is definitely now you need to enable dynamic client registration in the Pingfederate. Then only that, if some developer will just go for that call to that like dynamic client registration endpoint, they can able to set up their OAuth connection in the Pingfederate using, let's say, OAuth code or PKC or whatever, right? Whatever grant. correct? Now, before enabling this, right, like there are a few things like which we need to understand, because ping is not simply allowing that okay, you can just enable the DCR and you can start testing. It's not like that. You need to do some other things also to just use this DCR. So first thing is like, as dynamic client registration can expose your server to unwanted client registrations, we recommend protecting Pingfederate by requiring an initial access token, configuring one or more client registration policies, and protecting access to the dynamic client registration endpoint. As I already mentioned, right? Like you need to just do some restriction from the ping side. Because you're exposing that endpoint to the application, right? Application team, so they can use and they can set up the connection. So first restriction how you can build, you can just ask, you can just allow only when they have the access token, a valid access token issued by Pingfederate. In that case only they can able to use this dynamic client registration endpoint, right? Then also there are other protection also which you can apply by setting up the new DCR policy in Pingfederate, right? So it can make the things more secure as because this is just an endpoint which you allowed, so you definitely need to do some precautions, right? Take some precautions, otherwise it can be vulnerable, right? So yeah, you can configure access token requirement and client registration using the system and all the process. Yeah, basically we can just have a look in the Pingfederate. This endpoint accept only the HTTP post method, as we already talked. There is one note important here, right? So dynamic client registration requires auth client storage in an external data store, such as database or LDAP directory. If you have not yet switched from the default on disk client storage to an external, OAuth client, you can continue with the rest of the configuration. However, DCR remains inactive. That means like, if you already work in Pingfed, you see, right? Pingfed is basically giving you a kind of on disk like a kind of database, HSQL DB, right? That's the internal DB of Pingfed, right? So you can use that, let's say for grant storage. It's not recommended for stage and production, but yeah, for development environment, you can use. That means you are storing your grants in that database. But when coming to the DCR, Ping is not going to allow you. Ping is saying that, hey, I please add some external database, so that you can store your OAuth clients there. Like you can't store your OAuth clients in that the internal DB. They are not allowing. So in that case, first, like one thing you need to enable the DCR at the ping feed. That is definitely required. Second thing, you need to just set up the DB. You just need to let's say you can use any LDAP also, any like directory server, or you need to use some database, so that like that all your client is going to store there. Okay, I can just show you in the next slide. Okay, that is one thing. Third thing is like setting up the client credential connection for access token. So yeah, you can just set up one client credential where you have the permission, so that like you can generate an access token, and using that access token you can just go and call the dynamic client registration by passing the metadata. That means the client name, the other details, right? Redirect URI scope and other values. Okay, so this is like anyone have any questions in terms of this, like then I'll go to the next one. Sorry. Okay, let me jump to the next one. So now we'll go to DBPF. Yeah. So now, like as I mentioned, right, like we need an external database for our client storage. Without that, ping is not going to allow us to go for dynamic client registration, right? So you can just use like any database you can use, or you can just use any lab source also, where you can store all your clients, right? So in my example, I just chosen like one DB, that is PostgreSQL, where I can store the OAuth client storage. So I'll just show you that how you can set up this on a brief note, and then you can integrate that with Pingfederate. That means you can connect your Pingfederate to this database, and then basically whatever connections you are creating, it's going to store in that database. I'll show you that how it's currently storing. Okay. Okay, so for that, like what you need to do, like you can just go to your admin node, and then just you can visit this website like enterprisedb.com, where you can get a PostgreSQL version, the latest version. You can use, let's say 17 I use chosen. So just install that first thing, then you can set the path. Let me show you also quickly that this is my like running on the Google Cloud. Okay, like I'll show you this. So this is the instances, right? We have the admin and engine. So this is the admin node where I installed that PostgreSQL DB. So yeah, if I can show you. Yeah, so this is the SQL service is running right now. Server is running. So yeah, let me go to downloads. Yeah, so basically you just need to download that this file you will get PostgreSQL 1741 like Windows for 64-bit, right? And then you can just run this file. Basically, you just need to run that software file so that it can install. And once it is installed, then you can able to see in your like C drive, like if you're storing there, right, program files, then you have like sorry, go to PostgreSQL, yeah, 17 you can see, and now you can just define this path where exactly your Pingfed is like basically installed, right? Like let me show you that also. Go to advanced system, environment variables. Yeah, so here we have the Java path defined. So just I added the path of the PostgreSQL. So just add once first you install, then define the path. Okay, that is the first thing you need to do. Once that is done, let's come to our sheet. Okay, so once that is done, then you can just connect to PostgreSQL, right? So once installed and running, you can connect to PostgreSQL using this command. Like you can use the psql space -u postgres hyphen d postgres, right? So this command will basically like this psql is basically like a command line interface, right, for interfacing with the database. And hyphen u is for the user, like what user you are using. So by default right now we are using postgres only, and then hyphen d is like for specifying the database to connect to, right? So using this, like you can able to connect to that db, and then you can able to, like, let me show you also. I've already installed that and it's already connected to Pingfederate, but I can show you. Yeah, so this is our, like, right now it's connected already. If I can just show you, like, select a star from this table like Pingfed auth clients. So yeah, you can see that these connections is like getting stored like this. So I have like this connection right now with Pingfed, like I have refresh token grant, dcrat, dcr. So this connection I created, so you can see all the information like this stored in the table, right? The client id, secret, and other information. Okay, so that is the important need for the DCR. You need to store the client in some storage, external storage, whether it's a database or the LDAP. So this is the first thing you need to do. Once this is done, right, like once you install the PostgreSQL, once like you started that, you can see the things are running, right? Then now you need to connect that to Pingfederate. Now to connect that to Pingfederate, like you just need to do a few things, right? First thing, like just you need to bring the jar file for the PostgreSQL. Like I just use in 42, the 7.5, the latest one, right? Then you need to deploy the jar file in the Pingfed server default library. So I'll just show you quickly that also. And you sorry, like you just need to do the in the both the machines, right? Like you need to just do in the admin as well as in the engine node. Okay, in the both places you need to update that file, and then you just need to restart the service. So go to Pingfederate, then go to server default, then go to library. Okay, lib. So in that, like you can see that I have already deployed this file. Just that. Yeah, PostgreSQL 42.7.5.jar, right? So this is the one thing you need to just put that there, right, in that place. Now to connect PostgreSQL with Pingfederate, you need to form the JDBC URL properly. Sorry, I missed something. Yeah, first you download it and deploy. Yeah, then yeah, you can just connect PostgreSQL with Pingfederate. So you need to perform the JDBC URL properly. Okay, so basically, like first you just already connected, right? You first deploy the jar file, then you need to restart in both the nodes. Like let's say whatever the machines you are using, whatever the admin and the engine, restart in all the machines by putting this file, right? Then you need to connect that. You just need to set up a JDBC connection. So for that, you just need few details. Like definitely you need a username, password, right? Through basically whatever you made when you are just setting up this PostgreSQL, that username, password, and JDBC URL, and the driver name, right? So the driver class name will be the org.postgresql.driver, and the JDBC URL will something like JDBC PostgreSQL. Then you need to give the host, port, and the database name. So if I can show you, like in the Pingfederate, go to system data store. Yeah, so this is the connection. I have done the setup, right? So let me click on there. Yeah, so you can see we have the JDBC URL, JDBC PostgreSQL, then localhost. I'm running this machine only, so I put a localhost. Then we have 5432, then slash Postgres, okay, and then here I have the driver class, okay, and then like yeah, define that like yeah, the username password I have given, and then the validate connection SQL. Okay, then yeah, if I test the connection, I can see the connectivity should be successful. Yeah, so I'm able to connect to my database from this local host. So that is fine. Okay, just a second. Okay, now let's go back to our sheet. Yeah, so first thing what you did, like you just set up the jar file and then you just connected your ping with the JDBC, right? The PostgreSQL DB. Now, one thing is very important here as a caution. What ping is suggesting us, like pingfed does not migrate client records from one storage medium to another. That means, like let's say before this setup, like you have let's say 100 of connections already in the Pingfederate, right? Where you already set up and you have some you just applications are using that setup, right? Connection basically. Now, once you just set up this new JDBC connection for your client storage, the whatever connections you have, it will be gone, right? So you just need to take a backup in some manner. Either like if you have less connections, you can simply take a backup directly from the admin, like you can go to the console and take a backup. But if you're not having that, if you have large number of connections, let's say you have 100 plus, then you can utilize the Pingfeder REST API. Just call Pingfed API, and then yeah, with the same administrator credentials, you can able to call the OAuth clients API so that you can get a list of all the OAuth clients, and then you can store it somewhere. And later, once you just change this like method, like from the internal storage to the external DB for your client storage, then you can run that API, or basically you can import that all the JSON connections to the Pingfederate, so you can get all your clients ready back or restore back in the Pingfederate, right? So you can do that. Now this is one thing, right? This is a caution we need to take, basically. Now once your database connection is there, everything is ready, right? Now how Pingfed can know that whether how I need to store the clients in that. So now you need to make some changes on some file. So first thing, like you just need to go to this service points conf file under default conf. Let me show you, and you just need to do like both in the engine and admin. But yeah, you can just replicate and just verify those changes are done on the engine node or not. So let me go back to this file. Pingfederate server default conf. 1 second. Yeah, service points.conf on the conf folder, I think. Yeah, it should be in the bottom, I think. Yeah, this is the file. Okay, so first you need to just open this file once your database connection is done, right? Because you need to again tell Pingfederate, right, how to store. So this is the place where you can define. This is a place not only for the auth client storage. This is the place for the grand storage also, right? If you are just changing your grand storage, like let's say from your internal DB to any external database like that or any directory, so you need to come here and make the changes. Let's say for now, like this is for the access grant, right? But we are just right now checking for the our OAuth client storage, right? So just open this file and then look for that. So you can see service for storing 89 line, service for storing OAuth client configuration. So here you can see Ping is suggesting for each and everything, like say use this service point for XML implementation, for JDBC we have, for LDAP we have, for DynamoDB we have, and if you have some specified a custom, then you can use this. So in our case, we are using a JDBC, right? So we can go for this connection, right? So client.manager equals to, we just need to give auth source ID auth 20 domain, client manager JDBC IMP, right? So this is one thing. We just need to make a change and then save this file. Okay. Post that, once this is done, then you just need to run the table setup script for your database server provided in the Pingfederate. So Pingfed is basically giving you a script. What a script is doing, basically is creating a kind of table or a place where your connections can be stored. So first, right now what you did, you just already set up the database, you connected with Pingfederate. But how Pingfed can store, right? It has to create some table where it can store the client's information. So for that, what we need to do, we just need to, yeah, like I'll show you, like let me go to the SQL script. Let's go to default conf auth client management. SQL script. So we have multiple scripts here. So let's open SQL script. And now you can see for PostgreSQL, we have one. So let's open this. Yeah. So this is basically, it's going to create a table, right? Which where it can store the information for the client part, right? The client ID name, the other client storage and other information, right? The secret part. So you just need to run this script. Why? Once like you have done the database thing, right? Once you connected, so first thing what you did here, like in the Pingfederate while connecting, you just go to the service points conf file and then just updated this, right? The SOG auth client configuration. Once that is done, then you can just go to your database. Let's say change the path to like your SQL script, and then just you need to run that the SQL script, right? Like for us, it's like auth client management. Under that, if you can go to SQL script, you can just run the script like this with the /i space auth client management PostgreSQL.sql. Once you run this script, it can just create the table in this format, like with a client ID name, refresh rolling logo, whatever we have seen there, right? And it can start storing your connections there. Right? So this is a basic like if you are just going for the directory also LDAP, there also you need to run so that you can just create that storage. Okay, in the different format we have. But for database, we have like this. Okay, so once this is done, now the third step is like, yeah. Third step is like go to the this path in the Pingfederate, like go to data config store and open this file. Let me show you. These all are important because before that you can't like test your DCR, right? That's why I'm just showing you. Otherwise, we can directly jump and we can test. But yeah, these are the important informations. Like otherwise, we can't test. So let's go to data and then go to config store. Then we need to open that file. Let me show you. It's something with the for database we have something with the JDBC IMPL, right? Org source ID or 20.domain client manager JDBC IMPL. Yeah. Just open this file and then you can see that it in the line number 3, right? It's Pingfederate DS JNDI name. You just need to define now the database name you have set up, right? It should be the some ID. So if you can go to Pingfederate and go to data store. So when you set up your database connection, you will get a ID. You will get some name for that connection. So just opening that. So just open this. So you can see you have some system ID, right? Let me go back. Yeah. So you have some system ID, right? That Pingfed has given. So this system ID you need to define in that file so that like yeah, Pingfed can use for that storage purpose, right? Because yeah, in the Pingfed backend, like we have the yeah, they have just developed in this way, so it's just using these files and yeah, it's running that in the backend. They have some like code flow through which it's creating the connection by changing from internal to this external database storage. Okay, so and you have some limit like that. So yeah, this is the one thing. Yeah, once you've done this, like yeah, you can just yeah restart your Pingfederate again, like in both the admin and engine to replicate those changes. Yeah, so anyone have any questions like in this? Like so, in the first we just understand about the DCR. Second, we just tried how we can enable in the Pingfederate. Basically, the second like see we understand like how we can set up an external DB where we can store the auth client and then we can go for testing our DCR. So any questions till now? Before I can show you that how we can enable the DCR in Pingfederate and then we'll go for testing. Any questions, anyone? I'm audible, right? Hello. You can hear me? I lost you all, I think, not sure. You can hear me, right? Like, can anyone confirm? Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. I thought maybe I lost somewhere. Yeah. If you have any questions like till now, if not, then maybe I can just jump to that part. Okay, so let's go back to that. Yeah, so these are the two prerequisites you need to definitely do. Then like yeah, one thing, like let me show you quickly how you can enable the DCR in the Pingfederate. So let's go to system and then go to OAuth settings, then go to client settings, and then you just need to enable the DCR like here. So first thing, it will ask for the enable dynamic client registration. Then you have option here, require initial access token. As I told you, right? So Pingfed is giving you an option that without this initial access token also, like developer can use that registration endpoint and they can set up the OAuth connection in the Pingfederate. But yeah, it's up to you, like, because you need to prevent those. You need to apply the protection, right? Otherwise, yeah, it can be like yeah. Any other yeah, any developer or maybe any hacker can just set up the other connection and they can just try to, yeah, maybe make some vulnerability or some phishing technique to, yeah, get access to the information, right? So maybe you just need to enable definitely this require initial access token. And initial access token is scope, so just define, like, let's say some scope as a common for now OpenID, and just go to next. Okay, then you have the restrict common scope and allow the exclusive scope. So you have an option to allow the exclusive scope, or maybe you can restrict some common scope. So right now we are not going for anything here. Go to next. You go to next here. Okay, now here, like, you just need to define the few information about the token manager and the settings, few settings, right? So default access token manager, we are using the test ATM that we have. Then I enable the restrict to default ATM, right? Then we have these default settings, leave these options as it is, refresh token and all. OpenID connect policy, we have defined the policy that we have as a general for now. And yeah, leave other informations. Go to next. So here we have the manage client registration policy. So it will just again, like, give you additional control, right? A kind of like where you can apply some more restriction. But we are not going for right now those things. So leave. So you just need to enable, define the scope, and just go for the client configuration where you're defining the token manager and the OpenID connect policy. Just perform those things. Just do the cluster management, right? Okay, so this is done, right? So what we did, we just set up the database, we connected with Pingfederate, we have made some changes to some file, right? So that Pingfed can store the OAuth client in those, like in the external database. We have set up the table in our external DB, and then we have enabled the DCR in Pingfederate. So all these steps you need to perform. Then you can go for testing of the DCR connections, right? But before that, like, let me open that example one JSON. So we just need to try to test this, right? This example basically. But before that, like, I just need to check one thing, because I am getting some error, like when I'm trying to test, maybe might be some like problem in the connection or somewhere. But yeah, this is the problem. This is the kind of problem you can get, right? So let's say this is a problem where you have the endpoint. Okay, so this is the endpoint for the client registration. Yeah, where is that? Yeah, there is a registration endpoint, right? So this is the endpoint for the dynamic client registration you can use. And yeah, like, you can just pass that access token as a header, authorization header, and then just give the pass the metadata, like the client name and other details, to set up your OAuth connection using DCR. So you will get this type of scenario question, right? So like, this is a question, right? Developer wants to register a client that supports the authorization code flow, two redirect URIs, two scopes, and HTTP basic as a client authentication method. Okay, in this example, Pingfed is configured to require an initial access token. That means Pingfed is looking for an initial access token. That is like, we are going to achieve using the client credential flow, and using that access token, we need to go for this call, right? This is the post call by passing the authorization bearer, like token as authorization header, right? In the authorization header as a bearer token, right? Then we need to pass this body, like client name, redirect URI, scope, grant type, like that. And then you can just set up your connection in Pingfederate. So you'll get a response like that to your phone with the connection ready, right? Now to test this, like, maybe I'm getting some problem, but let me quickly have a look on my connection so we can fix it. But I'm not sure like it's going to fix or not, but yeah. So let me quickly check that. So first thing what I'll do, like, I'll update my base URL to, like, let's say to the public address. Right now I've given my internal address, like, of Ping engine here. So I'll update this, like, 1 second. So this is my engine address of the external IP address. Let me save this. Okay, and this is one thing, and let me refresh this. See that, yeah, this is updated. Okay, this is fine. Now I see there is one problem, right? I just set up the database with the localhost address, but how it can connect like from my engine to that, right? It can fail there. So I just need to make some changes there. Like, let me go to data store. So for data store, we have like host name as a 10.128.0.3. So I'll use the same because it is also running in the same machine, right? That database. So I'll go to data store. I'll go to Postgres like Postgres equal DB, and then let me open database config. Let me click on edit. So instead of localhost, I'll just pass that address because I just need to connect from my other machine, right? So that is a problem I think I'm getting here. Okay, so let me update this. Sorry. And let's check the connectivity. Let me save first. Do the cluster management. Okay, let's go back to data store and let's open that Postgres equal DB. Let's open database config and test the connection. Okay. What happened? Unable to communicate with the specified data store. What happened? 10.128.0.3. Address is correct, right? Can I give, let's say, the public address? It's not running with that. Might be if I just can go with the local host, then I think that is another problem what we see. Yeah, with the local host is select configuring correctly, but the problem is because right now when I'm trying to go to the postman and if I'm just trying to, let's say, let me try to go to new request. Just a second. Yeah, so here we have the like postman collection for the Pingfederate site. So first you need to get a token, right? So that you can utilize that while calling, creating the basically that auth connection. So yeah, like here I just need to define the grant type. I need to define the access token URL. Let me give that. Okay, then give the client ID, client secret. So this is the connection I have created in my Pingfederate site. DCR80 for DCR access token, and I'm using the client secret flow here. Okay. Yeah, so let's go back to that. So client ID secret, open ID I'm giving. So if I'm creating a get new access token, I'm getting the failure here. And it says that, yeah, unexpected problem server error. Right? That is error I'm getting. Now if I can go to my log, I might think that is the problem, but yeah, let me check. So this is the engine node running on the Linux machine. Okay. Okay, so here if I can go to the server log and go to shift G to the bottom, yeah. So let's see what is happening here. It says here like handle exception over token endpoint, aux source ID, client manager, client exception. What is the exception it's giving? Cannot create pullable connection factory connection to localhost 5432 refused. Yeah. So I think that is the issue. I think it's definitely not going to connect to localhost because right now when we are just sending this call, we are going for a call to our engine, right? So that's the issue. I feel check that the hostname and port are correct, and that the postmaster is accepting TCP/IP caused by something something. This is the thing. Java SQL exception cannot create this. This is, yeah. I think that is a problem. I understand, but I just need to, yeah, because yeah. I think if I can just open that, let me go to back to my connection. So we can go to data store. I just need to check. I think why it's not accepting that, because yeah, anyway, like localhost is definitely going to fail, right? Because at the runtime it's sending a call to engine node, right? And engine, how engine can connect to the localhost because this machine, those are two different machines, right? So it might be an issue. I've already updated the jar file there in my this place. Let me verify that also. Server default lib. Yeah, so yeah, this jar file already updated PostgreSQL. It's trying already in the executor. Yeah, this is fine, I think. But yeah, maybe. Hmm, let's go to data store. My internal address of the machine is 10 dot. I think what is that? Or let's say the external IP address is this. This is the admin address. Okay, I'm trying copying right now. Yeah, so this is fine. JDBC PostgreSQL 3458.223.241 colon, the port number is 5432 where like our Postgres is running. Okay, so yeah, I think port number should be fine. I think what is the command? I think for that. Maybe yeah, the port number should be correct. Maybe I'm putting some wrong command. Yeah, if I'm just running this test connection, it's giving me unable to communicate with the specified data store. Yeah, maybe I just need to fix it. I think maybe I'll not waste your time, but yeah, but this is the way. I think we just need to establish the DCR and we can test, and in the postman, like I can show you the collection what it says. Where is that? Yeah, so this is the Postman collection for like DCR. Let's open this. So yeah, this is for get a token. Like you can use the client credential flow, like, and then get a token. Yeah, I just need to fix that problem, like what I'm saying in the localhost setup. Maybe I just need to see how I can fix it. But yeah, once that is fixed, then yeah, we can get an access token. And once we have an access token, then you can go for DCR, the post call, and then you just need to as we discussed in our example, it's just like the same flow. Let this to load. I'll show you. Yeah, so you just need to use this post call like with the AS clients.org to the endpoint for that, and then just this is the body like where you're passing the client name, redirect URI, scope, grant type like this, and then in the auth you can choose that bearer token, and then just pass the access token you receive from there, and then just hit it, right? You can able to generate the connection, you can able to see the response what we have seen in the example like that. Okay, yeah, this is that kind of example. Like once you just send the request, you can get a response 201 with the like this as this example. And yeah, you can just play around with that so that maybe you can just restrict the scope, do your testing. You can use exclusive scope also. That means when while enabling the DCR in the Pingfed side, you can define those things, and based on that, you can just run this test. So yeah, maybe maybe I just need to fix that. That is a problem I see like in the evening, maybe with that localhost setup. So yeah, once that is fixed, then yeah, we can easily able to. But this is a process, and you can easily able to achieve. You can able to test in your own like lab environment also if you have something already been placed. Okay, so this is about DCR. Like yeah, maybe sorry for that. Yeah, maybe I'm able to just showcase you that test properly. But yeah, maybe I can just try to figure out today. But you can also go and just try that. It can definitely work in the same process as I mentioned. Okay, yeah. If anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I have one. Hi, Abhishek. So you said we need to get an access token for, it's the best practice to have an access token for registering the clients, right? So initially, the idea for DCR is to register the clients, right? Without
Mhm.
the client is getting registered there, how can we achieve an access token? How can we get an access token?
No, so you are saying like when a developer is trying to set up an OAuth connection for that, or like just like to generate an access token for any other connection you are saying. In what context you're saying?
So you say in your flow that we need an access token primarily to register a client, right?
Correct.
Is that
Mhm.
what? So okay. So without a client is being registered there, how can we get an access token?
Yeah, so basically that's what I mentioned, right? Like you can have one client credential flow set up, let's say for your connection,
Okay.
and that
So
client ID is host.
before we are requesting for a client registration flow, we need to have another thing register there and get achieve an access token, then register client.
Correct, correct. Then only you can able to call the this dynamic client registration endpoint. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So okay, got
But
it.
you can use without that also, like as I shown you that in the DCR ping is giving you that option, right? So if you can go to system or what setting, like you can see the client setting you have, you see require initial access token. So if you can disable this
Yeah.
access token option, then ping is not expecting that whether you are passing or not, it not matters. But yeah, for protection of our more security, we need to enable this, and we can
So the,
play around with the
Mhm.
restriction of the scope and all. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So initially, the major playground or use cases, as Shubham mentioned in the chat, is that the open banking kind of use cases. They won't be having an access token for that use cases. It will be directly a third party will try to create a client.
Uh, Sorry, like I missed. Yeah,
You know,
sorry.
yeah, in the open banking use cases,
Mm-hmm.
there won't be having an access token initially. So clients will directly, it is called third party TPPs, third party providers. They'll
Mm-hmm.
directly come and try to register client.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
In
that,
that
that is
use cases,
that is true. Yeah, you can do go for that. And also, like maybe you can just implement, let's say, a connection where you have some restriction in place, right, for your client ID with some scope. So if you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
passing that information, also there is no risk in that. It can
yeah,
make the things is more smooth, right? But yeah,
yeah.
definitely we're not supposed to allow for each and everything. But yeah, if we have some case, definitely we can go for DCR. And
Okay, good.
this year is very important in terms of exam also. When you're going for this Pingfederate expert exam, no, you'll definitely get
Mhm.
one question. It's not a question, I'll say one task on this, where like they can ask you to build an entire thing on that, right? They can give you some scenario, like first you need to enable the DCR on some. They will give you some like they will give you one task where they have like multiple 4 or 5 questions. In that, the first question will say enable DCR by putting something like just giving exclusive scope or some restricting scope. Then the second thing, just setting up the client credential flow to get an access token. And third thing, they can give you some scenario, like 4 or 5 scenario to test. So yeah, that is important in that way also. Yeah, maybe if you're giving planning to give exam, yeah, that can help you there also.
So once you fix this your lab issue, it'll be great if you upload the flow and test in your YouTube channel. It'll be
Yeah,
great to follow there.
yeah, I'll do that definitely. Yeah, I think yeah, maybe I just maybe missed that part because that is true, right? Without localhost, how in localhost it will definitely not going to run, right? Because right now when we are just using that client flow or the dynamic client, our request is going to engine, right? And how engine can able to communicate to the localhost address, right? Because it's not installed there, right? It's on the admin, so we need to communicate in that way. So maybe I just need to fix it. Like, let me try quickly. Yeah, yeah, I'll just upload there also. Yeah, definitely. And if they are very there are little risk also. That's why I see in industry it's not like very welcoming. People are not welcoming more DCR. But yeah, maybe there are a few scenarios where we can definitely go for it.
Yeah, one thing you can do is like you can if your admin engine have enough space, you can make the admin engine as standalone and then run the
Mm.
SQL also in the same engine, and then you can have a local host. Will call the same, right?
Yeah, in that case also it can run. Definitely, it is also true. I'll just give a try. Like, yeah, maybe after this call. Yeah, I think DCR is maybe, yeah. Anyway, I think in the industry I see that people are just trying to maybe make more automations, right? Not to keep more load on the admin. Like, yeah, definitely. Like, it's not like admin will do each and everything, right? Let's say
Yeah,
if I need to update callback address, I'll not go to admin, right? Or I'll not raise any request in service now or in G or any place, right? I can simply have the access. I can go and just call that. But yeah, we need
yeah.
to definitely look on the security purpose, like how we can make them enable. Yeah. So yeah, just go for this testing like from your side also. Like just set up like maybe PostgreSQL DB or maybe an Oracle DB if you have, and then just set up that run that script to have your table ready, and then connect with Pingfederate and then just give a try. Like enable DCR, play around with that. Some three. There are I see in their website also, like Ping website, they have like few examples they have given there. So we can try with the examples, those 3 4 examples, along with we can just build our own also. And yeah, it can just definitely we can play around with the scope value only. So allow some exclusive scope, some common scope, to some restriction, try that. Like those things we can test. So yeah, I'll just try to fix this like on my local hosting, then maybe I can also try those 3 4 testing, yeah, on this.
Um, Abhishek, is there,
Hey, hi.
does anybody knows here in this group? Actually, I've recently started working on Penguin DaVinci. I'm writing flows, different flows that meet our business needs. I was recently started working on it, so do not have much deeper understanding of the Ping DaVinci platform. So, do we have these types of sessions, or are there any recorded videos available somewhere for Penguin DaVinci so that we can learn?
uh, I don't see like you'll get any recorded video for DaVinci. What I see, maybe you can definitely get some kind of overview thing, but again, it is not going to more help you, right? So basically, you have some already a basic idea, or you're just trying going from scratch, like to just
Uh,
understand that product
I
and
have some
set up.
idea. I have some idea. I have written a few flows
Oh,
uh,
okay, you
on.
already developed something. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do understand the whole admin console, the different components within Ping DaVinci.
Mm-hmm.
But time to time, I feel I face difficulty writing different flows.
And what you're trying to build, you have any pipeline, something in the pipeline, like you have any kind of work where you're trying to build, let's say that uh, like for a password portal of MFA portal like that, you're trying to build something using DaVinci, or like just learning that?
No, that's it's not about learning. It's about our live project that we are working on. So some use cases wherein, let's say, one small example is we have Broadcom on one side and Ping is on the other side. We want some of our users are sitting on Broadcom. We want Ping DaVinci to validate their pins against Broadcom. So the users are already migrated to Ping, but their pin is still on Broadcom. So
Mm-hmm.
written a flow wherein the during the Pingfederate flow,
Mm-hmm.
the user would be presented with a pin screen. He enters the pin, and then my ping, the redirection happens from Pingfederate to DaVinci. Then this DaVinci flow interacts with one of the APIs of Broadcom that
Mm-hmm.
actually validates the pins and then comes back, and the user go back to Pingfederate, and the policy goes on. So that's one of the use cases. I have got a lot of other use cases as well. I still have to write so many other flows on Penguin Dimension.
Got it. Yeah, I worked on DaVinci, but not so much. Like I'm not like a expert there. Like I have some idea, but yeah, maybe I'm not able to help you much. But yeah, on the course, I think maybe we can help you if I think they have, if people are any people like giving some training kind of, maybe it can help.
Mm.
Yeah, Suhail, you can ping me on WhatsApp. I'll give you a point of contact. They do training, support everything. Okay, so just talk to them if that is helpful for you.
Okay, have you already dropped your number? How do I reach out to you?
I mean, you can ping me on this number.
Yeah, please. I'll ping you.
Yeah, this is my number. Anyways, I mean, if you're a part of the WhatsApp group, all these posts, I mean, I'm only posting all of them. So you can ping me there.
All right.
Okay,
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so
fine.
much.
Yeah.
That thanks.
So there is a 3 days instructed session from Pingfederate, but that costs a lot, around $3,000 if you are not an allied partner.
Yeah, for every vendor specific, not just ping, for every company, the courses are very high. Right? I mean, even if you go to Savient now for a 1 month trial, you have to pay, I think, $1,000. For a year, it is $3,500. So like that, every company, their instructor-led trainings are definitely expensive because all the trainers are based out of India in Western countries, and that's the ideal charges. Okay, but you can reach out to the point of contact or anyone who has queries around it. They can ping me. I'll give you some point of contact. You can talk to them. They'll definitely arrange support training, whatever is required. Fine. So are we good then? Again, thank you very much, Abhishek, for taking our time and doing this session. I know it's been pending from a very long time and we were unable to accommodate some slots for you. So definitely looking forward to more engaging sessions. And I've also pinned Abhishek's YouTube channel. It is a very informative YouTube channel. Anyone wants to start their ping journey, please do uh, go and go through those videos. They are very helpful. And anyone has any queries anywhere they are stuck, I'll be a single point of contact in the community. Okay, I'll make sure I'll redirect you to the right person. And if there is something that I can do, I'll definitely help you.
Excellent. I think
Fine.
that's really nice.
Sunil, one quick question. How's this community work? I really wanted to ask you, but I don't find anyone. How's this community work? Why not I?
Sorry, can you elaborate the
This
question more?
community that you are part of, this why not IAM community, how this community works?
Works as in
What is
like
this?
the yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Is this just is this a kind of organization, or is this just a
No,
kind
no,
of
this is this is a I mean a community where we started this just to again share IAM knowledge in general. Okay. And but then gradually we grew and we have done events also specific to IAM last year in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, and then recently we had a Ping Identity meetup. Our community members were invited there to talk and share the insights. So like that, currently we are doing weekly sessions on various topics. Last week we had Savian. Last year overall we have done close to 50 sessions. All of them are free sessions. You can see them on YouTube. And then meetups, events. Uh, again, and then there are multiple one-on-one sessions also based on what questions people have. So these are the 4 to 5 things that we are doing in the community, trying to make sure that uh, anyone who is new, anyone who is already working, can talk to the right guide and then help them with whatever queries they have, whether it is roadmap, career guidance, anything. So these are multiple things, and all of the from events, definitely events, we do charge bare minimum, let's say 200-300, right? Bare minimum, just to make sure that the audience is good. But apart from that, last year's event we had 9 sponsors, right? This year we are expecting good more numbers, and the goal here is to make sure that IM is the awareness and the reach and the learning of each individual, right? Especially in the IM is of good quality. So the learning starts from here and then it moves on. And everywhere, yes, there are paid courses, trainings also that we recommend based on people. If they want, they can go, or there are free uh, videos like Abhishek has started his own YouTube channel and people can refer that. We have a zero to hero on our YouTube channel, some sale point sessions, avian sessions also over there. um, so that's how the community is working. This is not an organization, still not registered. This will commercially be this. There won't be any commercial angle of this community. This is more from a perspective of helping, uh, creating this awareness, and this whole thing should start from India. That's the overall objective of the community.
Mm,
Great, great.
really nice, Ravi. It's a really good contribution within the IM community. One quick and small question because we are getting late already. But I do have a lot of Ping's products I'm working on. We have Ping Federate, Ping Access, Ping Data Sync, Ping Directory, Ping One MFA, Ping Davinci. These are the 6 products we are working. I'm working on. My knowledge on Ping Access is a little bit, not that much good. So let's say if I want to have some kind of insights on Ping Access, who should I contact? Is there any paid session? I would be happy to go with the paid session as well. If
That's what I'll give you a contact. There is
Hmm.
this company that does every. Initially, they had limitations around few products, but now I think they are good with all the products on Ping. So
Hmm.
just reach out to them. They'll help you with all the Ping suite.
Okay, perfect.
So just ping me on WhatsApp. Anyone who has any queries, I'll point them, and after that, you can do your due diligence. And again, the companies that I'm referring, at least uh, there are few that I have kept them handy, and I know some of the trainers, the founders, and some senior members in that organization, and I have referred a lot of students, candidates, and everyone has got some good feedback. Based on that, I've handpicked few of the institute. At least few things that I can guarantee you is there won't be any kind of cheating or anything around those things, right? On the payment and all, which is a very common thing. Second, the quality of the trainers are really good. And again, the third part, if there are any delays, any questions, I
Hmm.
have helped a lot of them jump in to the conversation and then clear all the obstacles if there are any, right?
Hmm.
Because that's one thing. And all these referrals, again, there is no monetary angle. It is because I trust them, hence I'm referring, but there is no commission as such that they pay to our community or to us.
Okay,
Hence,
okay.
the due diligence is also required from your side. We can at least refer you and make sure that the basic few things, the check boxes are ticked.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect.
Fine. So again, thank you very much everyone for taking out time on a Sunday and then showing so much interest. Uh, yes, the sessions were on hold because of some of our other commitments. But since I think last week we have started, we are continuously going to have few more continuous session every week, right? So mostly Sundays. If there are any trainer availability, we'll have even on Saturdays, but most of the time it will be Sundays. And in general, please use these groups, post your questions. There is a daily quiz organized by Harish, primarily around IAM on our. So I'll also on our LinkedIn and WhatsApp channel. So there is one more group. Sorry, there is a whole set of how you can join the community. I'll just post it here on the group so that you all can ensure that you guys are at least on one of them. Okay, so this one is on LinkedIn. If anyone hasn't joined, this is the YouTube channel. This is the WhatsApp. I think you all are already a part of it. This is the LinkedIn group. So please feel free to join them. And yeah, a lot of things are coming up. So we expect the community to grow. We started with 16 member in around January 2024. Right now, we have close to about 1200 plus, right? And YouTube, we have in a year close to 5,000 subscribers, around 80,000 views. Community is also growing. So yeah, I mean, this is, and again, treat this as your own community. This is not led by anyone, okay? Or this has to be driven by anyone. A lot of people reach out to me that they want to take sessions. We just arrange that and place it in front of everyone. So anyone interested to learn, and also we were doing troubleshooting sessions. So Suhail, let's say if you had any queries or if you are okay with maybe setting up a lab and you have questions, even on weekdays, we can arrange sessions. You can come up with your screen sharing, and then we'll add around 10, 15, 20 people who can then definitely guide you.
Okay.
So these are also sessions that we have done last year. But yeah, things have become a little bit slow because we were accommodating multiple other things. But now things are streamlined.
Okay. Nice.
Fine. So thank you again, Abhishek. I really want to thank you for taking our time and doing this session and all the participants. So we look forward to meeting again next week.
Sure.
Right.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you, guys. Bye.